Alright, hello lads and lasses, and welcome back to Boys Down Under, where today I am recording this video quite a few hours after Celtic's win, and I can tell you 100% I am still absolutely buzzing from that result. That was a very, very classy win, and 3 points which pretty much secure Celtic European football after Christmas. But before we get into the video though, if you are enjoying the channel and enjoying the content I put out, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you are willing to go that one step further and support me financially, you can become a channel member. But without further ado, let's get into it. So, a win in Hungary and a win away in Europe, something that Celtic have not done in the group stages since Lazio 2 years ago. And I think another game where the scoreline really doesn't reflect how much of an impact and how much control Celtic had over the match. So we'll go through the game really quickly, and Celtic got out of the box extremely well. Not even 3 minutes in, and Abada with his short burst of pace goes through the line, squares it to Kyogo, which VAR tried to ruin for us, but they didn't succeed. And Kyogo with a lovely bit of skill. He was so easy to pick out with his new hairdo, blonde hair. Fake shot, sends both defenders the wrong way and cuts it onto his left and passes it straight past the goalkeeper, and Celtic, just like that, were 1-0 up. And then, you know, in typical Celtic fashion, we have to have some downs in a European fixture, and that down came when the most unluckiest of deflections went in. The winger wasn't even shooting for Ferencvaros, he was trying to square it across goal, and somehow it deflects off Juranovic, lobs Joe Hart and finds its way into the back of the net. It was the weirdest deflection. It went in some strange reason. They didn't deserve it, Ferencvaros, but they got it nonetheless. And I guess we shouldn't have given possession away so easily before it, but still, that's just unlucky. Like, I can't even fault anyone for that. Like, I can't even fault Juranovic for that. He's making a good play there, but it is what it is. You know, I'm not getting worked up about it because it just caught me off guard so much. Then 10 minutes later, and it was a really action-packed first 25 minutes. 10 minutes later, after a strong counter-attack, Jota cut in on the right, rifles it in from 25 yards, beating the keeper at his near post, and pretty much using the post to his advantage as it took a deflection off it input and went in, snuck in just in between the goalkeeper's reach. And honestly, I was thinking about it earlier, and the amount Jota cuts onto his right foot off that left flank. He is literally the left-hand flank version of Arjen Robben. He is Celtic's Arjen Robben, but he's on the left-hand side. So I guess we're going to have to, we can't call him Jota anymore. We're going to have to call him Arjen Jota or João Neves Felipe Robben. We'll work on that, but you know what I mean. That was an absolute cracker strike. It may have took a deflection on the way, but it was a cracking goal and had me jumping up and down on the train on the way to school. Now, Celtic, he's just showing week in, week out that Celtic need him past this year, because the connection he's building with the players around him and the difference he's making to this team is absolutely incredible. Literally, in all my time of watching Celtic, I've never been that much thrilled or that excited by a player as I have by Jota. He is just arms and lengths above every other player in terms of footwork, in terms of maybe not Tom Rogic, but he is just so dazzling with the ball, and he is such a great player to watch. And honestly, his market value will be going up and up and up, but guess what? Celtic will only have to pay 6 mil for him, so that will be a bargain once when we activate that clause. And then after that, Ferencvaros almost equalised. They really almost equalised quickly, but Joe Hart, he made a comfortable save, a really good save, and one that we expected him to make, which kept Celtic ahead. And heading into half-time, we were leading 2-1. And I thought at half-time, you know, that was solid. While watching, you know, the half-time ads, I thought to myself, that was a very solid performance. But I think we need a couple more goals, and I can see a couple more goals coming, because up until that point, Celtic may have not had a lot of chances, but we were scoring the chances we got. And after 5 minutes, I was shell-shocked. I was jaw-dropped, because when the Ferencvaros winger played that 1-2, it was a great setup, that back heel volley that bounced off the floor, the half volley, in swinger, and I was just shell-shocked. I thought if that goes in, I will I wouldn't even be mad because it would have been such an incredible goal. But and you look at it, Joe Hart was rooted to the spot. He could not move. He could not move. He could just stand there and watch. The ball was so close to him. But it was just such a beautiful strike. Everyone just stopped. Luckily, it hit the crossbar for our sake because we stayed ahead. But that was going to be a monster of a goal if that deflected off the crossbar and went in. And then even like a couple minutes later from that, Celtic had a really, really near miss of their own when Tony Ralston hit the crossbar from a very well contested header from a set piece. But Celtic, we kept up the pressure, and I think the second half was more of a very straightforward second half until maybe the last 5 minutes. We'll get onto that, but Celtic kept up the pressure. Then we had a corner. David Turnbull, shocking corner, loses possession, but is showing such sheer determination. He wins the ball back at the halfway line, showing such incredible physical presence. He lays that ball off to McGregor, who beats like 2 Ferencvaros players, using a lot of strength to hold on to the ball. Finds Kyogo, opens up, sees Abada making a run through, plays a really, really incisive, amazing, pinpoint accurate, Tommy Rogic-esque through ball to Abada, who at the tightest of angles can only play in one spot, and the spot he plays it ends up being a goal for Celtic, and we go 3-1 up. And I think from that point on, I think the game was all over Red Rover. Ferencvaros did have a lot more attacks, but you could see and knew he had to give players a rest. The front three came off altogether, and Mikey Johnston, Giacomarcus, and Jamesy Forrest all got runs on from around the 70th minute onwards. Then Nearbaton came off with cramp, so we had to bring on James McCarthy, and then Liam Scales came on for Josip I can't remember who, but Liam Scales came on. I'm having a mind blank, but he came on late in the game. Obviously, Ferencvaros scored a really late goal to kind of set up a nervy kind of final 5-10 minutes, but in honest truth, when I was watching it, when they scored, I was like, okay, like it was kind of like a lapse of concentration for Celtic from Ralston to let him get that shot away, but still, like Ferencvaros really weren't looking that good. That goal was an amazing goal. It wasn't as if it was well worked or anything. It was just an amazing goal. So I wasn't really worried. And I know saying it in hindsight, it's very easy to say it, but I was never worried that Celtic were actually going to go on and end up drawing that match in Hungary. I always thought even with that goal going in, we would still get the 3 points. And like we did, we saw out the game very professionally. Ferencvaros didn't make it good for themselves. They argued with the ref a bit, but we don't talk about that because Celtic got the 3 points. And then, yeah, I think that was a really, really classy game from Celtic. I think the scoreline didn't really reflect it, but I know that this team is improving week on week. And Jota said it in his post-match interview with BT Sport. He said something like, look, this team is really new. There's 12 new players in this team or something like that. And every week and every month they are improving and they're starting to become more of a family. They're working as a unit. And I think I spoke about everything that I had to speak, and Celtic did everything they had to do in that match to win that match. They played as a team. They took their chances, which I'll get on into a bit. But more importantly, like I said in the match preview, they played Kyogo through the middle. And honestly, there were so many standouts today. You had players like Abada, Jota, Turnbull, Carter Vickers, Juranovic, Turnbull, McGregor. Everyone, Bitton, Welsh, Joe Hart, everyone played really well, but I think Kyogo was a level above everyone else today. You could just see throughout the middle the amount of gaps he created in that Ferencvaros defense. Now, albeit Ferencvaros played a very attacking style of football because they had to win the match, but still Kyogo, through that middle, a goal and assist, it was a very, very good performance from him, and that new hairdo rocks him very, very nicely. And look, I think singling out Kyogo, it's a bit unfair to the rest of the players, and especially that front three. I think that front three is the best performance from that front three that I've seen all season from Celtic. They work together, you guys know I like to bring up stats in these videos, so I'm going to give you one goal for Jota, a goal and assist for Kyogo, and a goal and assist for Abada. Each of the three is a reason that we won the match today. They each scored a goal. 2 of the 3 assisted. They had an incredible outing today. And I think a special mention to Abada, who recently has came under a lot of criticism because he's been underperforming and he hasn't really lived up to the expectations that he had at the start of the season. But truly tonight was a great showing of his class as a footballer. He really, really took that into his stride. And I think it's testament to Ange Postecoglou, because he would be aware that Abada wouldn't be performing to his best. He would have told him, look, I believe in you. Go out there and do what you can do because I believe in you. And he's gone and done it. And he's had a really, really great game and strong game today. And look, I think 3 points today, I think, was the most important thing. And I think it's something that really shows the levels that Ange Postecoglou has taken this team to. Because last season, albeit we had a very, very different team, but last season, when we got knocked out of the Champions League qualifying by Ferencvaros, I didn't even know who Ferencvaros was before we entered those qualifying games. Now, that's a bit disrespectful, but you understand what I'm saying. I didn't even know who they were. I had never heard of them before. But then we go in to get knocked out of them. It was so disappointing. It was the worst. It was one of the worst performances from Celtic that season. And it was obviously a sign of the times of what was going to unfold the rest of the season. But now to go and beat them home and away, both times extremely, extremely convincingly, has shown what Ange Postecoglou has done in such a short amount of time with this team. He's got the right players in. He's got them coached. They understand his philosophy, and the results are coming. And look, in the other European game for our group, Real Betis lost their match to Leverkusen. They got pumped 4-0, just like Celtic did. So, regardless, if Celtic beat them, Celtic are also going to need points against Leverkusen, or Ferencvaros are going to have to take points off Betis if Celtic want to play Europa League after Christmas. But Conference League, I will take nonetheless. But we still need to take some things away from the game, as we always do. And the first thing I want to take away from the match, and I think everyone should, is that Celtic looked ruthless today. We had 5 shots on target the whole match. We scored 3 goals, 1 shot was cleared off the line, and then another we hit. And then we had another shot which was hit the crossbar. It was such a strong, ruthless showing from the attackers today. Almost every single shot we had turned to gold. And it's so good to see Celtic taking their chances, because in the harder matches, we're going to get limited chances. And if we're not taking those limited chances, then we're never going to win those big matches. And Celtic have been very culprit this season of not taking their chances in games where, if they had, they may have scored. Cough, cough, Livingston. Cough, cough, Leverkusen. Cough, cough, the Glasgow Derby. Cough, cough, the other Livingston game. There's a few. Cough, cough, Dundee United. There's just all the games Celtic have failed to get results in this season. We haven't taken our chances, and we had to. If we had taken those chances, I think the landscape would be a lot different right now. But another thing that Celtic need to do, despite being so ruthless, is they need to be more careful in possession. There were a few occasions tonight when I felt Celtic were a bit lackluster in possession. Not lackluster, but they gave it away too easily. They weren't really holding onto that ball for their dear life. And it's understandable, because like a team like Celtic, when other teams drop back against them so much in the league, when you come to play in Europe and the games where teams press you, you're not used to it. And it's kind of in your mindset that you're going to have lots of time on the ball. But when teams like Ferencvaros are pressing us tonight, I think we looked a bit panicky, but we certainly didn't look awful. I just think there was a couple moments where it was a bit shaky when we were pressed by Ferencvaros. There's more factors to that, however. Fatigue is one of them. And then also Nir being at CDM. I think Nir did great, but I think he doesn't have that urgency that Callum McGregor does at CDM, because when Callum McGregor plays at centre defensive mid, he distributes the ball extremely well. He distributes the ball with pace, with aggression, with urgency. Nir, he does it with such a calm and level head. It can seem a bit slow at times. So I think once Tommy Rogic is put back into the team, then once McGregor can be pushed back there, I don't think it'll be as much of an issue. But I still also, against Dundee on the weekend, I feel it won't be as much of an issue, because Nir will have that time on the ball and be able to, make those calm and decisive passes, because Dundee aren't going to press us. But if they do, respect to them, because I'd rather they press us than sit back the whole game like a certain Livingston Football Club. But that is all from me. 3 points away from home, away in Hungary, making me hungry for more wins, but that is all. So remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, become a member if you wish, but until next time, hail, hail.